Hello everyone and welcome to BML's Kitchen once again. In today's video, like I promised, I will be showing you how I make my Nigerian smoky jollof rice. You can see how smoky that is. Please do not forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. You can also follow me on my social media platform, which is on Instagram and Snapchat is BML's Kitchen. Thank you, watch and enjoy. Bye. Ingredients used for my jollof rice as follows: 3 white onions, 2 sweet pepper, 2 scotch bonnet, fresh garlic and ginger, sunflower oil, golden basmati rice, plum tomato and tomato puree. So the next step is blending. I've got my blender out, and the reason why this step is so important is this is where you're going to get the base for your jollof rice, or should I say your tomato sauce for the jollof rice. So how I'm going to achieve this is just blending all the ingredients that I spoke about earlier on, and all I'm just doing is putting the plum tomato in the blender, getting the fresh garlic and ginger. The only reason why I use fresh garlic and ginger is because it just brings some type of taste and smell to my food, and anything fresh in your food just brings out freshness, if that makes sense. You know, it tastes fresh, brings out the freshness in your food as well. But if you don't like garlic and ginger, or you've never used it, you don't need to use it. Or if you want to try it, you can try it. But as time goes by, you just tell, like, literally in all my food I must put garlic and ginger in there. And also putting the scotch bonnet, 2 scotch bonnet, but then it all depends how spicy you like your food as well. You can put more than that, you can use 1. I'm using 2 big sweet pepper, the red one. I'm using 2 because I want my jollof rice to come out red, like the color. I understand some people when they make their jollof rice, it comes out yellow or orange. That's because they're not putting enough sweet pepper or tomato puree. So we're still gonna use the tomato puree as time goes on. So yeah, I just believe the Nigerian jollof rice is meant to come out red. So that's going in a blender as well. And also I've got 3 onions, but I'm going to be using 2.5, simply because the other half will be used for later on, which I'll be showing in the video. Onions, let me tell you a little secret, guys. Onions makes your food taste delicious. People don't realize that. I understand some people don't like onions, but if you do like it and you don't use enough onions in your food, boy oh boy, you're missing out. I'm telling you that now. So you need to try to use a lot of onions in your food, as if you like it, and then tell me the difference from now and then. But anyway, so now all I'm going to do now is just blend everything together. I'm going to blend this so smoothly as well. Then we go to the next stage. The next step is how to get your base, aka sauce, going. And I believe this step is so important when you're making jollof rice, or should I say this is like the main step when you're making jollof rice. And the way I do mine is I get the pot out, turn on the cooker, put it on a low heat, pour the oil in the pot, and then slice some onions in there. So I'm using the half onions that I spoke about the other time. I'm putting it in the pots now. And the only reason why I'm doing this is to start off by getting some aroma for the sauce coming, and then I put some thyme. I think I put 2 to 3 sticks of fresh thyme in there. Like I said, anything fresh is just makes your food 10 times better, tastes better, smells better, brings freshness to your food. But if you don't have fresh thyme, you can always use the dry ones, but it's so important to use thyme at this stage. And then I pour bay leaves as well, think about 2 leaves of there. This is also important when making jollof rice because if you don't use bay leaves, then it's not jollof rice. So if you don't have, you can always get, in the shops, in the supermarket. It's so important as well. What I'm doing at this stage is I'm trying to build my flavor for my jollof rice. So all these things I'm talking about, they're so important. And then the next thing is to get my tomato puree. I'm gonna also, fry that. So with this tomato puree, I fried it for like about 67 minutes. And the reason why I did that was to get out the rawness, the raw taste of the puree. You know, I got it out because what some people do is they don't fry it. All they do is they just put it, they just pour it in the jollof rice. And then what you realize is when you're done cooking, you can still taste that rawness. So what I tend to do is I fry mine. I make sure I stay there and I fry, everything all together on a low heat, remember? And then it will change color, like the puree will change color from, what you put in the first place. So that's when you know that, okay, we're good to go. So once that's done, then you get your blender, you see all the sauce that you blended earlier on, then you pour it in the pot, stir everything together, and then let it steam. Then we go to the next stage. After letting the sauce steam for about 10 to 12 minutes, I decided to add my chicken broth. This step is also really important because you will need some sort of broth, or should we say stock. In Yoruba, we call it omiro. You will need some sort of stock in your jollof rice because it gives it another taste. And for my vegetarians out there, you can also use your vegetables. Just make sure you add water and put a lot of seasoning in there. Let it be rich in flavor. So the water from the veg is what you put in the jollof rice to make it as your veggie stock. But for the people that like chicken, turkey, beef, fish, all you need to do is, you season your chicken, your beef, you steam it up. The water that comes out of it, make sure it's rich in flavor as well, is what is what is called your chicken broth. Then you add it in there. And that's what I'm basically doing in this video. I think I used like about one and a half, of that because I need it to be rich. Time to spice it all up. All I'm doing here is adding my seasoning. And if you did notice, I made sure I put my broth in first before adding my seasoning. That's because most times you probably don't need to add more seasoning in the sauce because your broth is already rich in flavor. But the only way you can know this is by tasting it. I tasted mine and I just thought I needed to add more. I can be extra sometimes. I love my food to be rich in flavor. So I added, more seasoning in there. And, I put oregano, mixed herbs, and Knorr cube. I did put, I think about 3 to 4 Knorr cubes in there, to be honest. It just all depends on how you want your food to taste because all these things are important. So no cube for me in jollof rice is also important. So that's what I'm doing here. Now it's time to wash the rice. But before that, I forgot to say I added curry as well in the sauce. And when it comes to my measurement, I'm really going to try my best. With me, I just measure with my eyes like as I go, but I know that's not helpful for some people. So in my future videos, I would make sure that I do try my best to sort of like be accurate with my measurement. Time to wash the rice. why do we wash rice? The reason why we wash it is just to, remove or get rid of the starch in the rice. And the reason is because you don't want to end up with sticky rice or like clumpy rice. So in this situation, I don't want no sticky jollof rice. So all I'm trying to do, I just want it to be like separated from each other when it's done cooking. So the only way I can do it is wash it and wash it and wash it. So how you know that the starch is gone or you've gotten rid of the starch is you end up with like a clear water in the rice when you're done. That's how you know. I just hope that makes sense. Now that the rice is all washed and clean, it's time to pour it in the sauce and stir it all together. I forgot to tell you guys that the type of rice that I'm using is the Sela Golden Basmati rice. So with this type of rice, it cooks quickly, and I wouldn't need to cover it with foil or any plastic bag because it just cooks so quickly. Stirring it all up now just to make sure everything is well distributed. We don't want a situation where there's like a bit of white rice in one side of the pot and then you have your red rice in another side of the pot. And then just to avoid it from burning, you just make sure you stir everything all up together. And then I covered it for like 10-12 minutes, came back, continued with the stirring because it was still a bit hard, the rice. But you don't need to put water. Anyway, with this type of rice, you don't even need to put water. Just make sure you just cover it. By the time you know it, it will be soft. And if it's other rice, this is where you cannot cover it with plastic bag or foil. Because if you put loads of water or you keep adding water, it will end up being soggy. So another trick with jollof rice is don't even put I didn't even put water in this apart from the chicken broth. But sometimes you can put water. It all depends. But like I said, with the kind of rice I'm using, it cooks easily and quickly. So yeah, time to garnish my jollof rice. This is the way I've always seen it done in Nigerian household. They put fresh tomatoes and onions. So I do that sometimes. Sometimes I don't put it. It all depends if I have it. So it's really not that, important if you don't have it or if you don't want to use it. So I garnish that now, mix it all up, cover it just for it to steam and for the onions to get soft a bit. And then now we're gonna get to the main bit, how to make it smoky, taste smoky, and smell smoky. Bear in mind the heat is on a low heat. The rice is already soft even before I garnished it. And now I'm just, coming back to check if the onions is soft already, and then just to get the smoking process going. So I covered it all up now, and remember I said it was on a low heat, but to get the smoky flavor, you have to increase it. So mine was on 2, and then I increased it to like the highest, which was 6 for like 5 to 6 minutes, and then it was covered as well. So once that's done for like 5 to 6 minutes, turn it off. When you open it, you can see the smoky flavor. You can even smell it and taste it. So this is how I achieve my smoky flavor, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope I did explain it well. If you have any questions, you can always comment or DM me on my Snapchat or Instagram, which is BMLs. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.